Imagine, for a moment, standing at the edge of an ancient temple, its stone walls worn by millennia, yet resonant with an unspoken power. This temple holds secrets whispered by the ages, secrets encoded in symbols, wrapped in myth, and guarded by the timeless figure of Hermes Trismagistas, the thrice-great master whose wisdom bridges the seen and unseen worlds. Alongside him stands Thoth, the Egyptian deity of knowledge and the cosmic scribe, whose hand is said to have penned the very laws governing reality itself. Within the shadows of this sacred place, a profound truth awaits, that the universe you experience, the world of matter, light, energy, and consciousness, is not a random chaos but a meticulously ordered creation. At the heart of this cosmic order lies the principle of mentalism, the cornerstone of Hermetic philosophy. Mentalism proclaims that the all is mind, the universe is mental. This ancient axiom holds that everything, from the stars in their celestial dance to the thoughts racing within your own mind, is fundamentally a mental creation. But what does it truly mean for reality to be mental? How can the flicker of a thought ripple outward to shape the vast expanse of existence? To grasp this, we must embark on a journey through layers of cosmic alchemy, where the mind is both the forge and the sculptor, an invisible force that creates, sustains, and transforms. Hermes Trismagistas, often called the father of Hermeticism, was not merely a sage, but an initiator into this profound understanding. Legend tells us that his wisdom was not confined to written words alone, but encoded in sacred texts such as the Emerald Tablet and the Corpus Hermeticum, texts that blend philosophy, spirituality, and metaphysical science. Through these works, Hermes unveiled the mechanisms by which the universe unfolds from thought to form, from intention to manifestation. To illuminate this concept, consider a simple metaphor: the world as a grand symphony, and the mind as the silent composer. Every thought you conceive is a note, every intention a melody, and every emotion a harmonic vibration. Together, these mental forces orchestrate the dance of reality itself. Yet, this is not an esoteric fantasy reserved for mystics or dreamers. Modern science, particularly quantum physics, increasingly echoes these ancient insights. Experiments reveal that the act of observation influences the state of matter, that consciousness participates in the creation of reality. It is as if the universe awaits the mind's direction, responding dynamically to the frequencies we emit. But mastery of mentalism is not a passive awareness, it demands active engagement. It calls for a deep understanding of how thoughts generate vibrations that mold the fabric of existence. When you realize that your inner world, your beliefs, your emotions, your subconscious patterns, reverberates outward, shaping your experiences, you begin to glimpse your true power. This is the alchemy of mind, the ability to consciously craft the reality you inhabit. It is the sacred dance between the intangible and the tangible, where the invisible will give birth to visible form. Throughout this exploration, we will uncover the ancient laws and transformative practices that unlock this power. We will trace the lineage of Hermetic wisdom from Thoth's celestial scribe to the subtle vibrations that animate the universe. We will journey into the depths of cosmic codes, unveiling the mysterious relationship between mind and matter. And ultimately, this is not just knowledge, it is an awakening. An invitation to transcend limitation, to reclaim your sovereignty as a co-creator of the cosmos, and to embrace the transformative potential that lies dormant within every human mind. So prepare yourself to step beyond the veil of ordinary perception and enter a realm where thought is the architect and reality is the canvas. The power of mentalism awaits, and with it, the key to unlocking the mysteries of your own existence. The story of Hermetic wisdom cannot be told without invoking the figure of Hermes Trismagistas, a name that means thrice great Hermes, a title that reflects mastery over wisdom, power, and love for the divine. Hermes is often portrayed as a composite of two ancient archetypes, the Greek messenger god Hermes and the Egyptian deity Thoth, the god of writing, knowledge, and magic. Together, they symbolize the bridge between the celestial and terrestrial, the visible and invisible, the mundane and the sacred. It is said that Hermes Trismagistas was the first to articulate the principle of mentalism, the law that proclaims the universe as a mental construct. According to Hermetic texts, the cosmos was willed into being by the divine mind, the all, a consciousness so vast and profound that it contains all realities within its infinite scope. Thoth's role in this sacred drama is that of the divine scribe, the hand that inscribes the cosmic laws into the fabric of existence. He is often depicted with the head of an ibis, holding the pen of knowledge, recording the unfolding of time and space, the alchemical transformations, and the eternal cycles of creation and dissolution. Within the Hermetic tradition, the Hand of Thoth is a metaphor for the divine power that inscribes the archetypes of reality. This hand guides the alchemist's work, the transmutation not only of base metals into gold, but of the soul's ignorance into enlightened wisdom. It is the invisible force that shapes thoughts into form, vibrations into matter. The legacy of Hermes and Thoth is encoded in a series of ancient manuscripts, the most famous of which is the Emerald Tablet. This cryptic text encapsulates the essence of Hermetic philosophy in a few terse lines, such as above, so below, as below, so above, hinting at the principle of correspondence, the idea that all levels of reality reflect and influence each other in a cosmic dance. To understand this, imagine the universe as a fractal, a self-similar pattern repeating at every scale. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. The thoughts within your mind mirror the movements of the stars. The laws that govern the heavens echo in the cells of your body. Hermes Trismagistas taught that by understanding these correspondences, the initiated could unlock the secrets of reality and wield the forces that shape existence. This knowledge is not mere intellectual speculation. It is a practical guide to transformation, a roadmap to align one's mind with the rhythms of the cosmos. Consider the alchemist's laboratory, where physical substances undergo change under the influence of heat, catalysts, and time. In a deeper sense, the Hermetic alchemist works within the inner laboratory of the mind and soul, applying the same principles to the transmutation of consciousness. This inner alchemy involves recognizing that thoughts are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious. Beliefs are the root systems that nurture or inhibit growth. Emotions are the waters that either drown or nourish these seeds. By consciously working with these elements, one can cultivate a mental landscape that manifests desired realities. For example, if fear and doubt dominate the mental field, the outer world will echo with limitation and obstacles. But if one cultivates faith, clarity, and love, the external environment shifts to reflect abundance and harmony. Hermeticism reveals that this process is governed by immutable laws, the 7 Hermetic principles, which act as the framework for understanding and mastering reality. Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender, each principle unfolds a layer of cosmic truth. But beyond the principles themselves lies the profound realization that all creation is an interplay of mind and energy, of intention and vibration. The Hand of Thoth, inscribing the divine code, reminds us that the universe is a living manuscript, one that we write daily with every thought, word, and action. To illustrate this, let us journey into an ancient tale from the Egyptian mystery schools, secret enclaves where initiates gathered to study the sacred arts. Among the hieroglyphs and sacred geometry, they learned that the material world was but a shadow of the mental world, that true power lay in mastering one's own mind. In these sacred halls, students practiced meditation, visualization, and ritual to attune themselves to the universal vibrations. They discovered that by aligning their inner frequencies with the cosmic pulse, they could influence their reality, heal the body, and transcend suffering. This ancient knowledge was guarded carefully, transmitted orally and symbolically, hidden from those unprepared to wield it responsibly. The esoteric arts of Hermeticism required not only intellect but discipline, humility, and a profound love for the divine mystery. As we move forward, the invitation is clear: to step into the role of the alchemist, the co-creator with the universe. To recognize that the hand that sculpts reality is not distant or foreign, but resides within your own mind, guided by the wisdom of Hermes and the divine scribe Thoth. The path ahead will reveal how the principle of mentalism interweaves with the alchemical processes, showing us how to harness the unseen energies and unlock the limitless potential encoded in the very fabric of our consciousness. At the heart of Hermetic philosophy lies the principle of mentalism, the profound teaching that the all is mind, the universe is mental. This axiom serves as the keystone for all other Hermetic laws, revealing that reality, in its essence, is a mental construct woven by consciousness itself. This principle invites us to reconsider our understanding of existence. What if the world we perceive, the trees, the stars, the mountains, is not a fixed external reality, but a dynamic manifestation of an infinite mind? This mind, often called the All, or the Universal Mind, encompasses all that was, is, and ever will be. Within it, every possibility exists as pure potential, awaiting the spark of intention to bring it into form. Imagine the universe as a vast ocean of thought, where every wave is a creation and every ripple a manifestation. Each individual consciousness is both a part of this ocean and a point of focus, a lens through which the infinite mind experiences itself. Your mind is not merely a receiver of reality, it is the source from which reality emerges. Hermes Trismagistas taught that this cosmic mind operates through vibration and will. Our thoughts are not idle musings but energetic currents that shape the fabric of existence. The law of mentalism reveals that by mastering your own mind, your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions, you gain the power to influence and create your reality. This is the essence of inner alchemy, the transformative process of refining and elevating the mental and emotional states to align with higher truths. Just as the physical alchemist transforms base metals into gold, the spiritual alchemist transmutes limiting thoughts and emotions into clarity, wisdom, and love. Consider a simple example, a seed planted in fertile soil. The seed's potential is dormant until conditions such as water, sunlight, and warmth nurture it into growth. Similarly, your thoughts are seeds planted in the mental soil of your consciousness. The quality of this soil, your beliefs, feelings, and focus, determines the nature of the fruits you will harvest in your life. If your mind is burdened with fear, doubt, or resentment, these vibrations will manifest as challenges and obstacles. Conversely, a mind cultivated with faith, gratitude, and compassion radiates vibrations that attract harmony and abundance. Hermetic texts emphasize the importance of intention, the conscious direction of mental energy. Intention acts as the sculptor's hand, shaping the formless clay of potential into specific outcomes. Without focused intention, mental energy disperses aimlessly, yielding unpredictable results. The Hermetic alchemist learns to discipline the mind through practices such as meditation, visualization, and affirmations. Meditation quiets the chaotic chatter of the mind, allowing deeper awareness to surface. Visualization creates vivid mental images that impress the subconscious, programming it for success. Affirmations reinforce positive beliefs, replacing old patterns of limitation. But inner alchemy is not merely about positive thinking, it is a profound transformation of the self. It requires confronting shadow aspects, the fears, doubts, and false identities that obscure the true nature of consciousness. This courageous work involves embracing discomfort and paradox, recognizing that growth often demands dissolution before renewal. The Hermetic initiate understands that the mental realm is a living theater of archetypes and symbols. Myths and metaphors are not mere stories, but encoded teachings that communicate truths beyond the reach of ordinary language. For instance, the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail, symbolizes eternal cycles of death and rebirth, the infinite nature of consciousness, and the unity of all opposites. Through the language of symbolism, the Hermetic tradition invites seekers to decode their own inner landscapes and awaken to the latent powers within. The alchemist's laboratory becomes an inner sanctum where thoughts are purified, emotions harmonized, and the soul refined. In the context of modern science, this ancient wisdom finds resonance with discoveries in quantum physics and neuroscience. Studies reveal that consciousness influences matter at the subatomic level, that our brains create reality as much as they perceive it. The notion that the observer affects the observed aligns strikingly with the principle of mentalism. This confluence of science and spirituality opens new pathways for understanding the creative power of the mind. It encourages a shift from passive acceptance of external circumstances to active participation in the co-creation of reality. To illustrate, imagine two individuals facing the same external situation. One perceives it as a barrier, the other as a challenge. The mental and emotional responses of each shape their experience and outcomes. The reality they inhabit is filtered through the vibrational lens of their consciousness. Thus, the Hermetic teaching challenges us to become vigilant gardeners of our inner world, to nurture seeds of possibility with awareness and intentionality, to recognize that the mind is a powerful instrument, a forge where the raw material of experience is shaped by the fire of will and the water of emotion. As we continue exploring the ancient alchemical mysteries, we will uncover how the principle of mentalism interrelates with the other Hermetic laws, guiding us toward mastery of self and the unfolding of cosmic potential. As we journey further into the ancient Hermetic wisdom, we encounter the principle of correspondence, a concept both poetic and profoundly practical, famously expressed as above, so below, so above. This law reveals the intrinsic unity and reflection between different planes of existence. Imagine the universe as a grand fractal, where patterns repeat endlessly at every scale, from the cosmic galaxies spiraling through space to the delicate veins branching within a leaf. This principle shows us that the microcosm and macrocosm are mirrors of each other, interconnected through invisible threads of energy and meaning. The principle of correspondence invites us to look within to understand the world outside, and to observe the external universe to gain insight into our inner nature. When ancient Hermetic teachers spoke of this, they urged seekers to realize that the laws governing the stars also govern the human soul. The rhythms of the cosmos are echoed in the beating of our hearts, the cycles of nature mirrored in our personal growth. This idea transcends mere metaphor. It offers a powerful framework for navigating life's complexities. When faced with chaos or confusion, we can seek patterns, recurring themes in relationships, thoughts, and events that reflect unresolved inner states. By decoding these signs, we gain clues to harmonize our inner world with the cosmic order. Linked closely to correspondence is the principle of vibration, which proclaims that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This law unveils that all matter, energy, and even thought are in constant motion, oscillating at different frequencies. To grasp this, envision a symphony orchestra tuning its instruments. Each string, drum, and pipe vibrates at a unique pitch, but together they create a harmonious melody. Similarly, everything in the universe vibrates at its own frequency, from the dense solidity of rocks to the ephemeral nature of emotions and ideas. The Hermetic tradition teaches that your thoughts and feelings are vibrational forces. Every belief you hold, every emotion you nurture, emits waves that resonate within the vast field of existence. When these vibrations align with higher frequencies, such as love, gratitude, and clarity, they magnetize experiences and opportunities that reflect that harmony. Conversely, low-frequency vibrations like fear, anger, and doubt create dissonance, attracting struggles and obstacles. This is why the Hermetic alchemist practices vigilance over their mental and emotional states, knowing that managing vibrations is essential for shaping reality. Consider the metaphor of a radio. When you tune the dial to a particular station, you receive specific music or news. If your inner frequency is misaligned, you receive chaotic or unwanted experiences. By consciously adjusting your vibration, you shift your reception, inviting a more harmonious broadcast from the universe. An ancient Hermetic story beautifully illustrates this. A seeker once asked his master how to change his reality. The master handed him a crystal bowl filled with water and told him to throw stones into it. As the seeker tossed in stones of different sizes, the water's surface rippled wildly. Then the master asked the seeker to throw a feather. The water barely disturbed, returning to calm swiftly. The lesson: your internal state is like the water's surface. Heavy, dense stones, such as negative thoughts and emotions, create turbulent ripples, disrupting your life's flow. Light, subtle feathers like peace, love, and gratitude create smooth waves that facilitate ease and clarity. Modern science echoes this ancient teaching through the study of cymatics, the visualization of sound frequencies forming geometric patterns in physical mediums. When sound vibrations interact with matter, they create intricate designs that reveal the hidden order behind apparent chaos. This demonstrates that vibration is not just an abstract concept, but a tangible force shaping form and structure. This sacred dance of correspondence and vibration invites us to become conscious composers of our life's symphony. By understanding the universal laws and tuning our inner instruments, we can participate actively in the creative process, co-authoring our destiny in harmony with cosmic rhythms. In the next part, we will explore how the principle of polarity, the law of opposites and balance, provides tools for transmutation and transformation, essential for the path of spiritual alchemy. As we delve deeper into the sacred Hermetic teachings, we arrive at one of the most profound and practical principles, the principle of polarity. This law reveals the dual nature of existence, that everything contains two poles, seemingly opposites yet inherently connected. Cold and heat, light and darkness, love and fear, joy and sorrow. These pairs represent extremes on the same continuum. The ancient masters understood that polarity is not a battle between opposing forces, but a dance, a spectrum of vibration where transformation happens. Hermes Trismagistas famously said, "Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites." This principle invites us to embrace the full range of experience rather than rejecting what we perceive as negative or undesirable. Imagine a blacksmith at the forge. To shape metal into a sword, the blacksmith must heat it to fiery temperatures, then quench it in cold water. Through this process of heating and cooling, the interplay of opposing forces, the raw metal transforms into a weapon of strength and precision. In the same way, the soul's growth requires navigating the polarities within and without. We cannot have light without shadow, joy without sorrow, peace without struggle. These are not obstacles to avoid but catalysts for alchemical transformation. The Hermetic alchemist practices this principle by learning to shift their mental and emotional state along the polarity spectrum. For example, anger may appear as a destructive force, but by moving its vibration gradually towards courage and assertiveness, it becomes a powerful catalyst for action and change. Similarly, fear, often paralyzing, can be transmuted into alertness and presence. This subtle shift, the ability to navigate and transmute polarities, is the core of inner alchemy. Consider the ancient symbol of the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail. This emblem embodies the eternal cycle of polarity and unity, destruction and creation, beginning and end. It reminds us that every end births a new beginning, and every darkness carries the seed of light. This understanding frees us from the illusion of separation and judgment. We begin to see that apparent contradictions are aspects of a greater whole, and the tension between poles creates the dynamic energy necessary for evolution. Practically, applying the principle of polarity involves conscious awareness and choice. When faced with negative emotions or challenging situations, the Hermetic seeker does not suppress or deny them, but observes and consciously moves towards their higher expressions. For example, sadness, when embraced, can deepen empathy and creativity. Doubt can be transformed into inquiry and wisdom. Even failure is reframed as a stepping stone towards mastery. This transformative journey aligns closely with the ancient art of alchemy, not the literal turning of lead into gold, but the metaphorical transmutation of base human experiences into spiritual gold. In your own life, recognize the poles you experience. What feels like an obstacle may be the very opportunity for growth and awakening. By shifting your internal vibration along the polarity scale, you reclaim your power as the alchemist of your own reality. This mastery of polarity sets the stage for the next Hermetic principle we will explore: rhythm, the eternal flow and cycles that govern the dance of existence. Having explored the alchemy of opposites through the principle of polarity, we now turn to the principle of rhythm, the pulse that animates all existence, the eternal flow of cycles and tides shaping reality. Hermes Trismagistas teaches us that everything flows out and in, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall. This principle reveals that life is not a static journey but a dynamic dance between ebb and flow, expansion and contraction, light and shadow. Imagine standing on the shore, watching the ocean tides. The water rises, reaching its peak, then retreats, making way for new movement. This natural rhythm is mirrored in every aspect of the cosmos: the beating of the heart, the changing of seasons, the waxing and waning of the moon. Life itself is a series of cycles, moments of growth followed by periods of rest, times of clarity and times of confusion, joy and sorrow, action and stillness. The Hermetic wisdom invites us to align with this rhythm rather than resist it. Resistance to the natural flow breeds suffering. Just as a swimmer fighting against the current exhausts themselves, so too do we drain our energy when we struggle against the tides of life. The initiate learns to surf the waves of rhythm, understanding when to push forward and when to yield, when to act and when to pause. This dance with rhythm requires trust in the unseen currents guiding existence. Consider the seasons as a metaphor for personal transformation. Just as spring brings rebirth and summer fullness, autumn prepares the harvest and winter invites rest, so too do our inner seasons cycle through phases of awakening and integration. Acknowledging the principle of rhythm frees us from despair in difficult times. When darkness descends, we remember it is a necessary phase before the return of light. When momentum slows, we see it as a sacred pause, a gathering of strength for the next ascent. This cyclical nature also explains why progress in spiritual and personal growth is rarely linear. We revisit lessons, emotions, and challenges, each time from a higher vantage point, like spiraling upward in consciousness. The law of rhythm is not a trap, but a pathway to deeper wisdom. It teaches patience, resilience, and surrender to the greater flow. It reveals that all experiences, pleasant or painful, are temporary waves in the vast ocean of being. In practice, aligning with rhythm means cultivating awareness of your internal and external cycles. Notice when your energy peaks and wanes. Observe the seasons in your life and honor the times for action and rest. Mindfulness practices, meditation, and conscious breathing are tools to attune yourself to this rhythm. Through these practices, you learn to move with grace, avoiding the burnout of resistance and the stagnation of passivity. The principle of rhythm complements the lessons of polarity. Together, they form a dynamic framework for navigating life's fluctuations, teaching us that harmony arises not from avoiding change, but from embracing it fully. As you deepen your understanding of rhythm, you cultivate the inner stability to weather storms, the flexibility to adapt, and the insight to recognize the hidden purpose behind each cycle. This wisdom leads us naturally to the next Hermetic law, cause and effect, the unseen chain that links every action to its consequence, revealing the interconnected fabric of reality. As we move deeper into the Hermetic teachings, we arrive at the principle of cause and effect, a fundamental law that reveals the intricate web binding all actions and consequences within the universe. Hermes Trismagistas proclaimed, "Every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause, everything happens according to law." This principle dispels the illusion of randomness, unveiling a universe governed by precise and inevitable chains of influence. Imagine a vast cosmic loom, where each decision, thought, and action weaves a thread into the fabric of reality. Nothing happens by mere chance. Each moment is both a result of past causes and a seed for future effects. This law echoes throughout all levels of existence, from the falling of a leaf to the tides of nations, from personal habits to collective destinies. Understanding it empowers us to live consciously, recognizing that our choices resonate far beyond the immediate. In the spiritual context, cause and effect align closely with the concept of karma, not as a punitive system, but as a natural consequence of vibrational energies we emit. What we sow in thought, word, and deed, we inevitably reap. This insight demands personal accountability. We are not passive victims buffeted by random forces, but active creators shaping our reality through the causes we initiate. Consider the ripples in a pond after a stone is thrown. The initial splash is the cause. The spreading circles are the effects, eventually returning to the origin in subtle waves. Our lives function much the same way. Even seemingly small actions carry profound consequences. A kind word can uplift a spirit and set off a cascade of positivity. Conversely, a negative thought can seed doubt and fear, manifesting obstacles down the line. The principle of cause and effect teaches us to cultivate awareness of the energetic seeds we plant. It invites reflection before action, encouraging us to align our causes with our highest intentions. Hermeticism also reveals that some causes are hidden or delayed. Effects may unfold over time or across dimensions beyond our immediate perception. This mystery deepens the call for patience and faith in the unseen workings of the cosmos. Science mirrors this law in the chain reactions of physics and biology, where every event triggers another in an interconnected dance. The Hermetic view expands this understanding to include subtle energies and consciousness. By integrating this principle, we learn to observe patterns in our lives, recurring challenges, relationships, and opportunities, recognizing them as manifestations of underlying causes. This empowers transformation. By changing our inner causes, thoughts, beliefs, emotions, we can alter the effects we experience. Healing, growth, and evolution become conscious processes. To illustrate, imagine someone who consistently experiences scarcity. Beneath the surface, there may be a pattern of limiting beliefs about worthiness and abundance. By addressing these causes internally, the effects in their external reality begin to shift. In this light, spiritual practices such as meditation, affirmation, and ritual become tools for realigning causes with desired outcomes. They help us clear blockages and plant new seeds of vibration. The principle of cause and effect reminds us that time is a sacred dimension in which our creations unfold. What we do today shapes tomorrow. This calls us to intentional living, mindful of the legacy we leave in the fabric of reality. Embracing this law frees us from fatalism. It reveals the power to influence our path and the collective consciousness through conscious choices, no matter how subtle. As we honor the invisible chains linking cause and effect, we move toward mastery, the ability to consciously direct our energy, shape our destiny, and participate in the co-creation of the universe. From here, we prepare to explore the seventh and final Hermetic principle, gender, a law not of biology, but of energetic balance and creation itself, completing the sacred framework that governs all. As we arrive at the culmination of the Hermetic principles, we uncover the principle of gender, a profound law that transcends physical biology and speaks to the energetic duality fundamental to all creation. Hermes Trismagistas taught that gender exists in everything. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. This principle reveals the dynamic interplay of complementary forces that weave the fabric of reality. Unlike the common notion of gender linked solely to physical forms, the Hermetic view embraces gender as energetic qualities, the masculine as active, directive, focused energy, the feminine as receptive, nurturing, and intuitive energy. This sacred polarity is present in thoughts and feelings, in cosmic cycles and cellular life. It is the rhythm of expansion and contraction, creation and manifestation, action and contemplation. To illustrate, consider the process of creation itself. An idea, born of feminine intuition and openness, must be shaped and executed with masculine will and structure. Without balance between these forces, creation falters. This dance of energies is reflected in nature. The seed germinates in the dark earth, feminine, then bursts toward the sun with purposeful growth, masculine. The moon's pull, feminine, guides the tides as the sun, masculine, shines its light. Within ourselves, the principle of gender invites us to embrace and harmonize both aspects. In masculine energy, we find drive, logic, and clarity. In feminine energy, we find empathy, creativity, and flow. Too much emphasis on one over the other leads to imbalance, rigidity or chaos, control or passivity, disconnection or overwhelm. True mastery arises from the conscious integration of both, allowing us to move fluidly between energies as circumstances require. Hermetic alchemists understood this law deeply, practicing the transmutation of inner energies, transforming shadows into light through the sacred balance of gendered forces. Spiritually, this principle is the doorway to creative empowerment. It teaches that the source of all manifestation is the harmonious union of opposites, a cosmic marriage echoing within each being. When you align with the principle of gender, you become both the lover and the beloved, the creator and the vessel, the seed and the soil. You participate consciously in the eternal dance that births worlds. This awareness shifts how you approach challenges and opportunities, not as battles of force, but as invitations to flow with the energetic tides, blending strength with softness, action with surrender. On a practical level, cultivating this balance nurtures wholeness. It supports emotional intelligence, enhances creativity, and deepens spiritual connection. In relationships, it fosters harmony through respect for differences and the celebration of complementarity. Within the self, it awakens the latent potentials of both energies, enriching identity beyond societal constructs. Thus, the principle of gender completes the sacred cycle of Hermetic laws, weaving together mind, vibration, rhythm, polarity, cause, and correspondence into an integrated whole. As you reflect on these 7 ancient principles, remember that they are not static rules but living truths, a map guiding your journey through the mysteries of existence. Hermeticism invites you to awaken to your role as a conscious co-creator, equipped with timeless wisdom to navigate the complexities of life with clarity, balance, and purpose. Now, the path forward lies in embodying this knowledge, in daily practice, reflection, and openness to transformation. The ancient masters remind us that wisdom without action is like a seed never sown. It is through your intention, awareness, and courage that these cosmic laws begin to shape your reality. Let this be your call to spiritual awakening, to rise beyond illusion, to embrace your divine potential, and to dance the sacred dance of creation. The power to transform lies within you. Your mind is the forge, your heart the flame, and your spirit the eternal architect. As you step into this truth, may you awaken to the profound reality that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe in motion. Thank you for journeying through the mysteries of Hermeticism. May this knowledge illuminate your path and inspire your soul's evolution.